Over the past 2 years, our country has suffered serious budget cuts in order to cope with the recession, thus causing our President Barack Obama to seize the NASA Constellation program. Today, I will be focusing my refutation speech on how the cancellation of the NASA Constellation project is not one of our priorities. My colleague Kyle Kahn claims in his speech that the cancellation of the project poses as a major setback for the space program. Though it is true, a setback in the space program today does not stand for a threat in our near future. First of all, though there will be no successors to the space shuttle, commercial organizations like SpaceX and the United Launch Alliance are willing to step in to work with the NASA specialists. Therefore, there would still be space exploration involved, but at a more budgeted manner. According to a New York Times article, the United Launch Alliance has decades of experience building space hardware for NASA, and its rockets, the Delta IV and the Atlas V, have successfully carried military and commercial satellites to space. With this collaboration with NASA, they can use ULA to transport humans into space. Many believe that with the cancellation of the program, we will lose our spot as a worldwide leader because countries like China, Korea, India, and Russia will be developing new technologies while we seize ours. However, according to a 2009 NASA report, the proposed fiscal year budget was $18.69 billion, and over the next 5 years, they are expected to receive $100 billion total for expenses. In the meantime, Russia is reported to be spending a total of $7.2 billion on 3 of their space programs. Hence, Americans spend more on our space programs than our competition. Thirdly, the use of the private industry does not weaken our NASA program. Many claim that private sectors lack funding. However, in a BBC News article, investigator Jonathan Amos claims that critics claimed the program was never properly funded, and when it ran into technical difficulties, its time schedule also began to slip. In addition to the $9 billion spent on the program to date, NASA will have to spend a further $2.5 billion to close it completely. With the current economy, cuts and cancellation programs deem a necessary step to return to financial soundness in our country. The cancellation of the NASA program may be a setback today. However, when in conjunction to other countries, we still remain as advanced in the space program, where we spend more and have more resources.
All right, to identify the subject, the phrasing of your position was a little bit confusing because both the original proposition and the way you were responding to it they seem to be in conflicts with one another, just a little backwards, and so it might be simpler to just paraphrase the position that you're taking there. When you got to the discussion of the alternatives, I thought that was a pretty good start. I think that you had an okay example with the satellites that are being launched and the use of the military and civilian satellites that are being successfully launched. I think you needed better evidence that talked about how they would be able to deliver humans up to the space station, for instance. The information that you had there, I didn't really hear a source citation on that. It may have been an extension of the earlier information. The strongest comparative evidence that you had was the information on the various budgets. You did mention the Russian budget, but we didn't hear anything about the other 2 countries that I think were mentioned in contrast, and I doubt that it would be hard to dig that information up, although I'm sure the Chinese don't advertise what they're spending on space programs. Somebody out there has got some kind of estimate on it, and I'm sure that India also indicates how much money they're spending. Then you're kind of back to the issue about the counterclaim on the private groups being able to deliver this, and I think that that's a good claim there, but your support on this is really mostly an argument about why it was necessary to cancel Constellation in the first place, not a demonstration that the private groups would be able to step in and solve the problem. So that was a little confusing there. All right, thank you.